Greetings, Earthlings, wisdom keepers, wisdom seekers. Welcome back to Wisdom Drops, your resource for daily drops of wisdom and savvy cat astrology. My name is Tanya, and today's topic for all the fire tribe is the Gemini new moon happening at 2 degrees of Gemini, the sign of the twins, on the 22nd of May. So if you are an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, this video is for you. That's right. And before I jump to your sign, and before you jump to your sign for that matter, watch the intro because it's going to help you understand the underlying tones of this new moon and better help you understand how to best use it based on your specific birth sign and chart, okay? So the introduction is that there's going to be 3 primary houses that you want to pay attention to. Houses are ruled by a sign. I use whole house systems, so I suggest you do the same. I can go on in a different video about why that is. But the 3 main houses are going to be activated because there's different aspects of significance, people, significance happening, okay, during this new moon. And quickly to name those houses for your knowledge bank. Okay, first off, it's the house with Gemini in it because that's where the new moon itself is happening. The new moon itself is both in a conversation of flow and ease in a sextile, and also, a trine, and also a conversation of tension, which is a square in this case, okay? So Gemini is sending energy out to the signs of Capricorn as well because there's a Mercury-Venus conjunction happening there, and the sign of Pisces because that's where we're having this square aspect between the Mercury-Venus and Neptune, and that's where we're having this other square aspect of Mars squaring the moon itself in Gemini. Now, as I said, the moon is having a flowing conversation, a trine to the tail end degrees of Capricorn, my friend. Why is that? Because we have both Jupiter, okay, and Pluto in retrograde at those tail end degrees of Capricorn. So there's a lot going on celestially, and Saturn is currently at 1 degree of Aquarius and is also involved in that larger trine that I mentioned, okay? By like 1 degree of this new moon. So the theme for this new moon, no matter if you are an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, in my opinion as your astrologer input person, is that you are going to be going through a massive phase of rebirth, a massive phase of authenticity, a massive reality check moment where dreams are lining up with your tangible inputs and your tangible long-term trajectory for your reality and for your life. Why do I say that? I say that because Mercury and Venus are in a square aspect to Neptune in Pisces, y'all. What does it mean? Well, Mercury Venus, if you didn't see my previous video, is all about making communications beautiful. It's all about whatever is appealing to you at the 5 senses level. That's sight, touch, taste, smell, etc. So combine that with the planet of communication, Mercury, and thinking. We are going to be thinking about how to bring more of those Venusian, pleasurable, 5 senses appealing, also built environments to make it more pleasant in our daily lives. Because Mercury is the planet of communication, thought, intellect, planning, things that take organization and structure, also communication with other people. So it's inherently a very social moon because we have in the sign of Gemini the new moon happening itself, but we also have a conjunction between the planet of communication and the planet of beauty. They're like currently married in the heavens, having this delightful dance. But the thing is, they're in a hard aspect, a square aspect to Neptune. So watch out for people who are fronting as something that they're actually not. Watch out for people who are playing you. Watch out for the smooth talkers who are like all about trying to just like talk you into something that you know in your gut isn't right. Don't do that under this new moon. That's for this whole 2-week span, even into the next month of a 4-week timeline, because new moon to new moon is a full lunation, a full cycle of lunar event rather. So be on the lookout, fire tribe. Do not be fooled. At the same time, tap into those dreams, tap into the realities that are on the other side of those dream-like states in your consciousness, because you can under this new moon. I'm not even kidding. Saturn is in its strongest sign possible, Aquarius. Yeah, it's retrograde, so you know what that means? It ain't time to sit down and eat a bunch of goddamn French fries. It's time to put in the work and plan, because Saturn is father time, is the authority of the zodiac. And when he's retrograde, it's 3 times as much of that energy. He's going inward, he's reflecting, he's refining, he's revising. And if you utilize that energy in the heavens and correspond with the celestial planetary energies in your real life, then you, my friend, will reap results, okay? So that's just a little bit of an input. And whatever house Gemini is in for you, Fire Tribe, that is the house where you can gain an incredible amount of information. You're almost like accessing a hidden realm during this new moon, because that is going to give you insight into something that was previously hidden. Why do I say that? Because there's a square happening to Neptune, so it's bringing something to light, and Gemini has all of this energy in it right now. A stellium, to be sure. There's the moon, there's the sun, there's Venus conjunct Mercury, so there's 4 planets there, and it is a time to level up, my friends. But trust and believe, it's a time to level up with all the aspects in the heavens. So with that said, this was a long introduction, but hey, I'm here for you, so let me just jump into the signs. Aries, that's where it's at. Aries, you have these 3 primary houses that you need to pay attention to, right? But I'm going to tell you the aspects happening between them and how to use it, because I'm just that friendly and generous. So Aries, you're going to be having the moon itself squaring Mars, okay? And that's going to be in the sign, or in the houses of your 3rd and 12th house. So the moon's in your 3rd house, you're having the new moon in the 3rd house, Mars is in your 12th house, okay? So that's going to have to do with things that you are letting go of, because 12th house is death, 12th house is what you're releasing, okay? And that's actually where the Mars is. So it could actually mean a severance for some Aries out there. And unfortunately, you know, I don't like to deliver bad news, but keep in mind that with every ending, there is an opportunity for a new beginning. Every time a door shuts, a new door opens. So if you're an Aries out there like, oh my god, I'm scared to lose things, or I'm scared of my subconscious, because the 12th house rules that, as well as dreams and stuff, right? Don't be afraid, because this is the time for you to reset. This is a cosmic reset. It's a new moon. So if you want to bring in new energy into your life, the cosmos are literally there for you to deliver just that, if you want to co-participate with them in the process. Okay, moving right along to your 3rd house interaction with that. So how do you get through this? How do you get through the loss? How do you get through this deep psychological subconscious thing where you're just like, oh my god, I don't know what I'm doing right now, my life feels like it's in shambles and I'm losing things? You get through it through learning skill and building skill, and something about using your skill and applying your skill will help you move beyond the loss of the 12th house. Why do I say that? Because it's a square aspect, and that means a 90-degree. And that means that there's an opportunity for manifestation on the tangible earth plane. If you didn't watch the video I just did on transiting square aspects to your natal chart and you want to learn more about that, it is there for you to watch, okay? Now, when you have that happening between the 3rd and the 12th, applying your skill in a way where you can release from the loss, because it's at a 90-degree angle. And what kind of loss are we talking about? Deep subconscious, deep emotional. Why do I say that? Because it's in Pisces. Mars is in Pisces, and the skill that you're applying is very social in nature, and it's very communicative in nature, because you as an Aries Gemini rules the 3rd house, because you're the 1st sign of the zodiac, and that's the house that Gemini corresponds with, period. So yeah, use your skill, get out of your subconscious ruts, don't be afraid of any fears that pop up right now, apply the skills at hand, and you have everything you need. That's what that aspect is telling you, okay? Now, another hard aspect that you want to be aware of between both Pisces and Gemini, but totally different planets involved here, you have Neptune actually squaring Mercury and Venus. So Neptune is in that 12th house, Aries, and Mercury and Venus is going to be in that 3rd house. So that's more about, like, you definitely, it could be skill related, but it's more about you coming into truth with what it is in your life that you need to do to make yourself happy. Why do I say that? Because Venus is pleasure. She's one of the great benefic planets of the zodiac, and she's currently conjunct Mercury, the planet of communication, thought, and intellect. So we combine that together in the fact that it's in your 3rd house, aka what skills do you have, or in this case, maybe what skills do you feel you need, because it's in a square aspect to Neptune, which is the planet of dreams, the planet of true, like ephemeral states of altered consciousness, higher states of consciousness that are emotionally and intuitively linked, energetically linked to the astral realms and so forth. Angelic communications, definitely water-based kinds of goddesses and other life forms are associated with the planet of Neptune. So when you have Neptune happening in this kind of like conversation, it's like present, right? In this conversation of tension with Mercury and Venus, the planets of communication and beauty, it's like, where are your dreams? dreams. It's almost like the heavens are like giving you a reality check, like what are your real dreams and what skills are you gonna need to get there? Because it's the 12th house, and that's also dreamlike energy. 12th house is subconscious, what's hidden, what's behind the scenes, what's only present to you from states of escapism or from states of deep subconscious meditation or sleep, like REM, okay, you feel? Now, in conjunction with the house of skills. So I'm saying in order to like build your dreams, you need to refer back, you need to look back to your skills. What skills do you have, Aries? Because there is a theme between these two houses in your chart. So pay attention to that. If again, I just want to say, if you have a loss of some sort or some deep psychological stuff that you didn't even know it was there coming up, don't be afraid. Don't push it down. Work through it. You have everything you need. Okay, Aries? The other final aspect that I'll talk about for you is the moon is trining Jupiter, okay, and Saturn and Pluto. These are the great, but like these are the big bad planets. Jupiter and Saturn are like the gods of time. They're like the rulers of an era when they're together in the heavens. The ancients actually looked at that as like an era ruler when they conjunct in the heavens. So these are big planets. In other words, they're big, heavy deal planets. Jupiter is the great benefic, the higher benefic, okay? It's like above Venus even in its categorization, and Saturn is time and limitation and structure and organization and how you format your life, okay? And Pluto's deep transformation. So you as an Aries are having a lot of activation around these themes for sure, because your 12th house is still lit up. But obviously, you know, the moon itself is in the 3rd house as we've been discussing, but the trine energy is going to your 10th house and your 11th house, between the signs of Capricorn and Aquarius. So you as an Aries are going to be having some activation and opportunity to get out of this tension that you're experiencing in these other realms of life that I just mentioned, between your 3rd house and 12th house, if you tap into the energy of your 10th and 11th house in conjunction with that 3rd. That's another part of why I said it's time to build your dreams, because the blue line of communications, the communication of flow and ease, is happening between the planets, you know, of fate basically. And also, you know, if you want to apply that strategically with your skills, you as an Aries 3rd house are being given all the opportunity in the world to do that. And the 10th house is how you present out in the world, and the 11th house is again dreamlike energy and what you can achieve out of life, and your higher kind of like desires, what's really going to bring you total fulfillment at the end of the day. So you combine this Neptune, which is like this altered dreamlike kind of energy, and you combine like 11th house, which is like dreams, like aspiration dreams, and you have a recipe here for cranial, like figuring it out and just like listening to your intuition and applying it. You have to apply it if you want results, y'all. It's on the table. It's almost like the cosmos are like, here you go, build it. Because all the retrogrades right now, anytime you're in retrograde season, we currently have Jupiter, Saturn, okay, and Pluto and Venus all retrograde in the heavens. That is what you call a retrograde season, my friend. So when you want to get results out of life, you take advantage of new moons like this. You feel? All right, now I'm gonna move along, Aries, but may the stars be with you. Peace. All right, moving along to Leo. Leo, what's up, Leo? Nice to see you on the YouTubes. Okay, we're gonna go into your houses. You are having this moon in your 11th house, Leo. That's pretty cool. I mean, I'm honestly really excited for you, because 11th house is good energy, and anytime you have a new moon, you can use it to grow energy in your life in that particular area of your chart or of your life, right? So you have like joy energy. 11th house is like larger networks of people as well, so something with your networks can really grow over the next like couple weeks if you put in the effort, or it might just happen from previous things that you've done, but you can definitely use it to your advantage because you know about it, right? And why do I say networks? Well, I say that as well because you have the 8th house activated. So the moon itself is squaring Mars between your 11th house and your 8th house. Pisces is your 8th house, and that's where Mars currently is. And you also have another 11th house, 8th house activation happening between the Mercury-Venus conjunction, okay, squaring Neptune in the same signs of Gemini and Pisces. But they're at different degrees, so it's a different aspect. But what does this all really mean for you? Well, it means that the moon itself is in some kind of conflict or tension with your action and with your desire, because Mars is like one of the fire engines of your zodiac. It's like one of the catalysts, if you will, the energy that you need to do anything, and also your planet of desire. So something to do with like your desires is out of alignment. Something to do with your desire is out of alignment with what you want to actually apply in your life to create a more stable foundation for yourself in a way that's going to make you very happy. And why do I say all that? Because there's so many planetary energies involved in this, and it's in your 11th and 8th house. So just to name again, for your clarity's sake, what planets are in your 11th house right now, we have the moon itself in Gemini, Mercury, and Venus conjunct. So there's the sun, because it's Gemini season, with the moon, because it's conjunction, it's a new moon, right? And then you have Mercury and Venus in that same house. So that's going to be, you know, definitely something to pay attention to. And the 8th house factor is going to be like other people's resources, other people's money, because that's what the 8th house corresponds with. So for you Leos in particular, you could actually expect some really positive manifestations between your networks and other people's money that they're investing in you because they believe in the projects that you're building, because that's the 8th house activation. And you know, the 8th house for you is going to have Mars in it and Neptune in it right now. So you know, you have like a lot of good energy to work with, and you're healing something to do with your true joy, Leo, because there's actually a Chiron and Lilith conjunction in Aries right now, which is in your 9th house. So it's like you're liberating, you're waking up through something that has been previously keeping you tamed, if you will, or contained. So look out for that and use that if you want. And then finally, the moon is trining Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto between your 11th house, your 6th house, and your 7th house. So again, there's themes of work here: 6th house, 7th house, partnerships, 7th house, okay? Themes of networks, 7th house and 11th house. You see how that's all working out? So there's some positive, easy thing that's really serving you in this larger tension that's not lining up between other people's resources and your dreams that you're like building, that you're making. And when I say it's not lining up, I don't mean that you don't have the opportunity to manifest something out of that, because you absolutely do. It's a square aspect. That's the whole point of a square. If you haven't seen the video I just did on transiting square aspects to the natal chart, check it out. But I'm saying something there might feel more tense with other people, networks, and investment in your projects, 8th house, or even your resources that you're investing into your dreams. 8th house, things of loss, right? Places of loss. 8th house, where you lose as well as gain to and from others. So 11th house might be you're investing in your dreams and you feel tense about it because there's a square aspect between that 8th and that 11th house. But at the end of the day, my friend, you have a positive, easy conversation of flow from that same 11th house, okay, coming to you from Gemini, like, hey, it's gonna be okay. Why? Because that 11th house is trining your 6th house, which is work and habits, and it's trining other people in your life, your partners, like business partners and relationships. So if you're a Leo out there and you're looking to invest in something right now and it feels good, Leo, and it feels right, and it has something to do with you manifesting your dreams, your aspirations, your higher goals in this world, I say go for it. If you vetted it through a friend, maybe, because the 11th house is involved, so use your networks, maybe ask for second opinions on stuff, because it's the 11th house, there's very social energy there, and plus it's in the sign of Gemini. If you talk to your people and you have felt good about this, Leo, it's the time. Let's just say that. If you want to capitalize on this moon, it's the time, okay? All right, Leo, with that said, may the stars be with you. Peace. Moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius! What is up, my Sag friends? I love you. Sagittarius, you are having some serious activation here between your 7th house and your 4th house. That's the moon in the 7th house, okay, along with Mercury and Venus conjunct. And in the 4th house, you're gonna have Pisces Mars and Pisces Neptune there. So you're having some stuff with home, Sagittarius, without a shadow of a doubt. Home and relationships at home. So if you're a Sagittarius who like has a life partner or like a long-term partner, trust and believe that there is very likely going to be an opportunity. Scratch that, not really an opportunity. There's very likely just gonna be some type of tension pop up. And yeah, it is an opportunity, but like there's very likely gonna be like, I'm not not trying to sugarcoat it, like some type of tension, some type of conflict, some type of argument. Watch out for that if you are a Sagittarius, because you have some seriously strong energy speaking between the 7th and the 4th house. So the moon is in your partnerships houses, and if you are with a partner in general, the next 2 weeks up to the next month are going to be very eye-opening for you, and you're probably going to be very aware as a Sagittarius of where you've been disillusioning yourself in relation to this partnership, because you have Gemini, okay, which is your 7th house, in a hard aspect to Pisces, which is your 4th house, and that's home. And Neptune is in home, like illusionary planet in the sign of home, but it's in a tense aspect with Mercury and Venus. So it's almost like ways that you've been under delusion are coming to light, because Mercury brings things to light. Mercury's a communicator. Mercury is the god who could go to the underworld and all the way up to Mount Olympus at free will, you feel. So if you want to think about like what that's actually doing for you in your life, Sagittarius, it means that you are actually opening up to previous delusions and disillusionment. You are waking up to previous untruths or lies, if you will, you know, between you and a partner. And that doesn't have to be a bad thing, you know what I mean? It could also mean that you're coming into, if you're not partnered up in your Sagittarius, you have an opportunity to draw in really successful relationships in your life right now in different ways, but it has to do with like paying attention to your intuition and listening to the beautiful messages of others, yes, but being cautious and aware, Sagittarius, that not everything that is beautiful or sounds good or feels good is good for you, or is what it really says it is, for that matter. So be aware of that energy, but you do have an opportunity to level up without a shadow of a doubt, because you also have intense energy happening between your 7th and your 2nd house. So it's what you own, and that's the good energy, or so all energy is like for good or bad, right? But you have a trine happening there between your 7th and your 2nd as a Sagittarius, because in Capricorn and your 3rd, in Capricorn and Aquarius, we currently have Jupiter and Pluto in Capricorn and Saturn in Aquarius, and those are speaking in conversations of flow and ease with this new moon. So you have, again, the partnership house, the 7th house, but it's almost like your partnerships are smoothing out because they're having this nice conversation with Jupiter and you know, the masters of fate, basically, and karma, Pluto and Saturn. So you're having like things ease out, and ultimately at the end of the day, whatever you come to as a Sagittarius, it will come to you kind of naturally, because it's in your 2nd house that you're receiving this really positive, easy conversation of flow energy to the sign of Capricorn. And you have Jupiter there right now, so it's blessing your family life and stuff, and Pluto's transforming it though. If there needs to be transformation at this time, trust and believe as a Sagittarius, you will be experiencing that deep transformation in your home environment around family, and also around what you own and what you value in your life, Sagittarius, because that's all the 2nd house and the 4th house. It's just all that ish. Like there's extra like stuff in relationship to like family, money, value, things of like deep worth to you, like deep-seated identity. There's coming into conflict for the purpose of coming into joy, because and value, because the 2nd house is what you value, it's what you have, it's what you possess. It's the 2nd house from the ascendant in any given instance, so it's what you have after being an individual, right? So with that said, be sure to subscribe, and if this video did bring you any type of value whatsoever, hit the like button, share it with a friend, etc., etc. I don't need to tell you what to do, wisdom heads, you already know. Share it, okay? And with that said, yeah, like it, like that guy said. See, did you listen? It's a new moon in Gemini. They said hit the like button, listen up. All right, with that said, my friends, may the stars be with you. Peace.